Key finding that surprised me is to identify microplastics from even very critical and enclosed environment. For example, the ICU. It is very important for us to know that while we are spending most of our time, is there any situation or is there any possibility to inhale or ingest microplastic or not. But it's a really good, the special thing that I like about from the physics of the plastics, like a static charge, how static charge affect the plastics, and then this continue affecting human health.
Hello, dear friends. Today we are having a talk on microplastics with research scholar Nisarg. Thank you very much for being today with us. Let us maybe begin our conversation with your introduction. Please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Yeah. Thank you so much for providing me this opportunity to let some discussion and some talk on indoor microplastics. My name is Nisarg Mehta and I am from India. I did my bachelor's degree and master degree in environmental engineering, and currently I am doing my PhD study in Silesian University of Technology, which is located in Poland in Gliwice. And my PhD research topic is the characterization of settled dust from various indoor environments, which is basically focused on the microplastics present in different kind of indoor environments. And it's my final year of study, and I have spent 4 years on this particular topic. So I am delighted and I am very happy to share my experience and my thoughts on the indoor microplastic with you all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nisarg. I really appreciate for your time and eagerness to share your expertise and also what you have already found. Could you probably share what inspired you to research this exact topic?
So while searching for a PhD opportunity, I am looking for various institutes and various research topics, especially focused on environment. And in that particular, I find this topic. It is proposed by my supervisor, Professor Barbara Kozelska, and she had this really emerging topic and very important for our society is microplastics, because microplastics is a relatively new pollutant, emerging pollutant. So far we have discussed with the PM10 and PM2.5, volatile organic carbons and many others pollutants. But recently we have started discussing on this invisible thread, we can say, microplastics. So it's currently new and very interesting for me. And I thought that it's a very good opportunity to me to explore this hidden world of plastics. So this is my biggest motivation to deep into this, go into this area which is not so explored recently or in past. So this is the thing.
Yeah, it is indeed like another world, so to say.
Yes.
And briefly walk us through your study on microplastic in hospital dust, for example.
My particular topic is on focus on the characterization of indoor dust from various indoor environments. So there's two parts. One is the characterization of the dust, especially with focus of a microplastic, because in dust you can find so many things. But our focus is to identify the microplastics from the indoor dust. And second part is from the various indoor environment. So can we have this comparative analysis that what kind of variation we find in different kind of building activities or human activities. Is there first the hypothesis that is there an effect of human activities and the building activity on the microplastic or not? So for that we choose different environment, indoor environment or indoor buildings, for example school, university, hospital, healthcare as well, and a residential building as well as public building like a railway station. And recently we also collected dust from public transportation as well. So these are the indoor environment. And my published article on hospital, it's the first evidence that we have conducted research on the microplastic point of view in any healthcare building. And in that particular topic, we collected samples from Indian hospitals. Two hospitals we have choose. One was a private hospital, and second was a public hospital. So we can compare that also, that what kind of infrastructure, the use of how people use this, and what are the difference between this organization's point of view as well. And we found that human activity highly affect on the concentration of microplastic, because in this particular research we collected dust from the various part of a building, or it means hospital. For example, the corridor, a waiting area, or outdoor patient unit, indoor patient unit where we admit people, also ICU as well, and which is very critical healthcare system.
Intensive care units,
Intensive,
right?
yes, especially for those who have a critical situation. And we found dust is from everywhere, and but the concentration is different. Where we find more human activities, they have more. We find more concentration of microplastics, and also variety of microplastic as well. Because my topic is on a characterization, so we do characterization based on the its morphological parameters, like what kind of shape is predominating, what is the color of microplastics. This kind of characterization physical will tell us about what is the source of microplastics. If I found blue color microplastic more, it means that in your surrounding environment something with blue color is emitting more microplastics. So it's help us for the source control and to source to identify the source of the particular microplastic, as well as its shape is also telling us something about what is wrong in your environment, and also the type. So when first we do the characterization by the morphological, and when we do the chemical characterization, we find different kind of microplastic. But we find in hospital particularly, PET is the predominating. Nowadays PET is used most widely, PET.
Yes.
And use of PET in the disposable gowns during operation, curtains, single-used equipment, even the wrappers, medications that what we packed, because PET is most common packaging material nowadays. So we find these particles as a characteristic. So this is the main result that what we get from this particular research in hospitals.
Great. So it's tremendous research, and yeah, thank you for sharing. So that what were your like key findings that did surprise you?
Yeah, the key finding that surprised me is to identify microplastics from even very critical and enclosed environment. For example, the ICU. That because there is a limited movement of people, and with totally proper ventilation system, but still we find some part of microplastic in that area as well. So it means that this plastic is everywhere nowadays in the world, in every place. It can also move with mobility. Even we restrict mobility, still it is penetrate with some air or circulations or with footprint or indoor activity as well. If we limiting in to enter from out sources, but still inside some activities, For example, medical equipments are using in the ICU. Some medication wrappers are people are tearing this for the medication. So this also can be the source of microplastics. So this is surprising for me because we are expecting that hypothetically that it can be found in open space or the outdoor corridors where there is more use of human activity. But even the limited activity area, we also find some part of microplastics.
Yeah, I see your topic is really surprising
Yeah.
because indeed this ventilation system, HEPA filters, right?
Yeah,
Everything should
yeah.
be theoretically isolate this small chamber, right, from any factors like that, and still we can find it there. Yeah,
Yeah.
and thank you for sharing that. It's a really tremendous finding. And yeah, we have also already mentioned also the main sources, right, of the microplastic in the hospital from PET, packaging materials, right, and so on. So as I understand, also clothes, right, basically another source. Did you maybe compare a level of microplastic exposure in hospitals and in everyday environments such as home, cars, and outdoor, like generally?
Yeah, exactly. Research find that my focus is on the only indoor microplastics, and so far literature suggests that, and the literature from the previous scientists and researcher, they found that there are 8 times higher concentration of microplastic in indoor as compared to outdoor. So because of limited air exchange, limited can say activity can limit the dispersion of microplastic in indoor environment. So I found that where the human activities is more, use of plastics or any kind of activities is more in particular environment, there is more chance to find more microplastics. In hospital and as compared to different micro environments, we can say for particular for the microplastic, we observed that where we also conducted research on high human traffic building, like populated country and developing country like India. We collected sample from the railway stations, which is highly polluted as well as populated.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, where transit and environment, and we find that in this particular environment, microplastic concentration is higher than low activity micro environment. We also compared that with different small part building micro environments. For example, we collected dust from the waiting room, AC waiting room, non-AC waiting room.
What that mean? ACV?
Air conditioner, first
okay.
class waiting room, and the second class, which is non-air conditioned AC room. And we also compared with the footfall of the people. Like it's a very obvious thing that in first class or air conditioned, there is a limited use of the room because of the limited seats and the limited availability. So where we find less microplastic as compared to which are the more used. And the second observation is that same in the hospital, the corridor and outdoor patient unit where people used to sit waiting for their turn, they have more concentration of microplastic as compared to the ICU and the other part. The same we observe in the railway station as well. And mainly I can conclude that human activity is directly affected with concentration of microplastic found in indoor environment.
Okay, so is it like the more people in this, as you call the great terminology, microenvironment, so the more people transit through this microenvironment, the more microplastic in it, right? or
Yes,
not?
because of the, not because of the, it's not dependent with the number of people, but is directly connected with the number of activities.
Activities.
If more people, so more activity. There is more chance to have a more draw of luggages or more possibility to open the packaging things. This kind of activity is promoting more concentration of microplastic in indoor environment.
Yeah, that's interesting. Thank you
Yeah.
for explanation.
Yes.
Yeah, some studies also suggest higher exposure levels in indoor environments like homes, possibly due to carpets.
Yes.
Like, how does your data relates to it?
Exactly, yes. It's a really very good thing to mention here. As I mentioned that my topic is two things to focus on the characterization. So morphological characterization we did because to know the what are the source of the microplastic. And all my studies, so far I have conducted study from various indoor environment. It's a critical healthcare center, so healthcare center, hospitals, public building like railway station, also transport building or also transport environment like a train and school, residential. The most common morphological factor we found is a fiber.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we differentiate the morphology in three part: fiber, fragments, and you can say films or something, or foam.
Yeah, yeah.
So the foam and films are you can say negligible, but the fiber and the fragment are more found in concentration, and among the fiber is the most dominating. Research also says that, and the source of the fiber is polyester clothes or any polymer clothes, and carpet, nylon, rayon, polyvinyl, polyester. These are different kind of polymers used in the fabrics. So the main source of microplastic we find is from the fiber only. So it's from the clothes. Even the study conducted in the hospital, there is also fiber is dominating morphology. Even residential house, the carpets, our clothes, curtains, and many things is made for the fibrous things. And
Textile.
yeah, textile, exactly.
And what I heard, also fiber is also dominating in lungs in human body, I found, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so basically this is the exact category that is also influencing our breathing system.
Yes, yes. The second objective of my research is after characterization, chemical and morphological, is identify exposure health to the human beings. And as my research is mainly focused on the settled dust, my research is more concerned towards the ingestion, not the inhalation. So whatever the model I am using to estimate associate exposure effect to human being, is model is used only by the ingestion, because large particles are easily settled down.
Yeah, yeah.
And small particles, smaller size particles are more suspended in air, so we can inhale. So, and the model which I use, mathematical modeling with using my data, we found that fibers are more easy to ingest, especially most vulnerable age group is toddlers, because children have more hand to mouth activities, and in dust if the fiber is there, so it can penetrate into the your intestine, gut.
Yeah, they need to taste everything. That's why
Exactly.
it gets inside easy. Yes.
Yes. So, and research says that fragment has the more, because their fragment is even smaller particles. We also find that, and because of the mechanical process, abbreviation and friction, this kind of small fragment of microplastic generated, they have the tendency to even penetrate to more deeper into our tissues, in intestine, in lungs. So they are more harmful. But yes, fibers also people research also find fibers in lungs, tissues, and intestine as well. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that as well, and it was really interesting to listen about your findings and your model especially, and yeah, it is really nice to see that researching of this topic brings more and more attention of researchers like you, and it also brings hope that science finally will like move full steam into researching of micro and nanoplastic issue.
Yeah, it's really important to have a more systematic methodology for identification, characterization, and identify the core sequences. Because it's a really very emerging topic, you can say newly developed topic. So we still don't have any standardized and established methodology for detection of microplastic from the various environmental matrices. So if you ask me that what the limitation I find and what are the future aspects of the research for the researcher as well and for the science community, that more and more the data we can collect, because environmental monitoring is very important. Without monitoring, it is not possible to justify anything. So with the proper monitoring of the environmental effect for the microplastic, it is very important that we can have a proper systematic methodology, established methodology, which can worldwide recognized scientifically as well with the scientists.
Yeah, to be trusted and applied everywhere.
Yes, exactly. And also the characterization part, because scientists doing their best using different methodology. Experiment science is about trial and error. We change methodology, and we are developing in this stage. It's not a problem, but there is a really need of some standardized protocol for detection, monitor, characterization, and find the associate health effect regarding that.
So thank you very much for that one as well. Yeah, that thing that you have mentioned about different differences in how we monitor, gather, measure this pollution and so on. And yeah, there seem to be significant differences across studies because of that. And there are some studies like, for instance, one study in Birmingham reported around 16 particles like per cubic meter, and while another in Toulouse found about 528, right? And so how do you explain such large discrepancies?
Yeah, this is what I tell you, because there is no standardized methodology. As far as I talk about indoor microplastics, because my research area, so whatever telling is about my indoor environment. So the biggest problem that what we are facing right now, that we don't have standardized unit for the microplastic. We also don't have any standardized established protocol by any agencies or by any scientific institutions for identification of this. So this may vary the results. For example, I will give you one example. For settled dust, some people are consider microplastics per gram of dust. So people sometimes take 1 gram of dust. Sometimes people actually take 0.5 gram of dust and then they multiply it by 2 times, because to maintain the standardized with 1 gram.
To bring it to some,
Yes, so it can also double the multiply of the numbers. So for example, for 0.5 gram of dust, they for example find 10 microplastics, but to standardize unit, they just mention 20. Actually, it may be not 20, sometimes it's 25 or it can be 18 as well. But to maintain the standard protocol, they double these things. Some researcher working in indoor microplastics, they use unit microplastics per meter square. So this is also one of the problem. So this is what the next future need is to maintain the standardized protocol, standardized unit, so that study can be comparatively and we can have a clear picture worldwide that what is the exact thing. So this also need to think of it.
Yeah.
And in line with that, we are discussing about the limitations and the future recommendations. So I would like to add one more thing, that first we need to define the definition of microplastics. Right now in the world, the established definition is by the scientist Thomson. Thomson et al. First time is already mentioned in our documentary as well. Yeah, he was there. So it's very good to have because he is the first scientist who defined the microplastic.
Pioneer.
Yeah, pioneer. Yeah. So with this media, I can say thanks to him that first time he used this word microplastic and grab attention of scientific community towards this topic. But according to his definition, microplastic is the particles who are smaller than 5 millimeter. He is totally correct as far as the aquatic system is concerned, because 5 millimeter particle is very easy for the fish and other aquatic animal to digest it, and maybe it can be bioaccumulation from the fish to next next predator. With the food chain, it possible to transfer from one to another. And 5 millimeter particles can also affect harmful to aquatic animals as well. But as far as the atmospheric microplastic and the settled dust microplastic is concerned, 5 millimeter is very large. 5 millimeter is
great.
Great. Yes, it is not possible to inhale this bigger size. So, but we don't have standardized definition for this. So until it's not established, we use their definition only. So my experience is that for the subtle dust, for ingestion and inhalation, 5 millimeter is so large particle. So we need to restrict this. Yeah, so as I mentioned that 5 millimeter particles are so large to inhale and to ingest. So while defining microplastic in atmospheric or in ambient air or in indoor air or in the settled dust, we need to rethink about the definition of the particles, which are the study is very important. This kind of study required that which are the optimum size of microplastic are easy to inhale and easy to ingest. So based on this, we need to redefine the definition of the microplastic. But for aquatic, I am sure that 5 millimeter is completely okay, but not for the air.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's no surprise that different institution researchers in the situation of lack of common protocols and standards came out with what they saw like meaningful for them, right? to conduct their research with, right? And yeah, that's totally okay. And here you're totally right that it is also a task for a global scientific community to develop such common standards and protocols. Do you believe we need a broader and more systematic monitoring of microplastic in indoor environments, especially in sensitive places like hospitals?
Yes, exactly. I truly believe that because so far the microplastic words, if you search the keywords microplastics in a Scopus database or a Web of Science database, you will find that more than 90% of microplastics research studies are focused on aquatic ecosystem. It can be ocean, river, lake, pond, and any other things. You will find very few articles or very limited articles which are focused on other than the aquatic ecosystem. So recently I was go through one of the research paper, and the research paper state that around 89% of research paper on Scopus and Web of Sciences focus on the aquatic ecosystem. In rest this 11 or 10% you can cover other part of the micro part of environment, like is also considered the terrestrial, land pollution, soil, indoor environment, outdoor environment, all these things. So there is a very limitation studies are focused on the terrestrial ecosystem, and especially if you more go deeper into sub classification of indoor air, there is a very limited articles and very limited studies are conducted. So monitoring is, I think, the basic and pioneer thing to establish any study, especially ecosystem and environmental monitoring is concerned. So without monitoring you don't have data, and without data you cannot conclude anything or you cannot go to any result. So I truly believe that first we need to more focused on the microplastic, and especially in indoor environment. Why indoor environment is important for us, that I would like to tell to this audience with using this platform, yeah, to the our people, that we people used to spend 90% of time in indoor environment. It can be our home, our professional life, or a professional work environment, entertaining environment like theater, drama, a cinema hall. And we also see the situation like COVID-19, where people used to spend 100% of their time in indoor environment. So we are more concerned about the outdoor pollution. It is also one of the important aspect, but we people more time spend in indoor environment. So indoor environment is more important as far as the exposure of pollutant is concerned to human health. So and this is also one of the motivation for me for this research, that there is very limitation where people used to spend most of their time, and they are more exposed to any pollutant, not only microplastic, in indoor environment. So indoor monitoring, especially indoor air quality, is very important for for assessment of exposure for different pollutant, and for microplastic for sure, because there is a very limitations of data, and without data we cannot conclude anything in science.
Yeah, we will stand in point
Yes,
without progress, without data.
So I highly recommend the future generation, the researcher, and those who want to carry this research continue, that it is really very important to contribute by monitoring environmental data, especially in indoor environment, to know more about exposure to the human being. Because our all the activities like food, like eating, drinking, all things are have within this indoor enclosed environment only. So it is very important for us to know that while we are spending most of our time, is there any situation, or is there any possibility to inhale or ingest microplastic or not? Yes.
So we have also discussed the documentary prepared by ALLATRA GRC, Nanoplastic Threat for Life. This documentary has been, it won already 4 awards, 2 in London, 1 in Germany, and 1 in Australia. And I know that you have already watched it, and could you please share your impressions, and also maybe you can assess the importance of such public awareness efforts.
Yeah, indeed, really, I have watched this documentary, and it's a truly worth award-winning documentary, I should say.
Thank you.
Because the data that collected and the opinion that taken from a different eminent or very prestigious scientist all over the world, who have so far contributed for this particular micro and nanoplastics. And the way the documentary show from the introduction to the conclusion part is really, I appreciate this, and I really congratulate for the first winning this award. And I also very thankful to the NGO that they have this they take this initiative to make awareness based on this documentary, and it's really nice. But I think as a indoor scientist, I find that this is a missing part, but it is not a problem with the documentary. Because as I told that most of the data is only work on the aquatic ecosystem. That's why it's more focusing on that. But still I see find some people in this documentary telling about the forest and also the soil, and but atmospheric environment people also discussing in that, but indoor part is missing.
Yeah,
So,
who knows, maybe you will be also a part of,
yes,
next documentary.
it's really my pleasure to be a part of this, and if I can contribute something to work for the society by my experience and my work, it's really good.
It would be really great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but it's a really good. The special things that I like about from the physics of the plastics, like a static charge, how static charge affect the plastics, and then this continue affecting human health. Also some reference of some very famous pioneer scientist, like I mentioned Thomson et al. From UK. They're very famous article that I usually cited in my research article as well. So it's a really good and opinion from the medical doctor, many oncologists, cancer specialists, gynecologists, and it's also very nice. And I can feel that you people give a very hard efforts to make this documentary in such.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And also thank you for your readiness to also to join it, to also bring some part of your experience and work into it. It's really inspiring also for continuing working on it. It's always very inspirational to see people joining, right? And the more of us working together, active people, the basically the easier, the happier the path it is by itself, right? And then basically micro and nanoplastic issue might be really huge one, because it is already influencing the whole biosphere, right? And it's not an easy task to figure out the impact, the exposure, this and so on. And yet I believe that together with such people as you volunteered all around the globe, we can everything. And so I have a really good feeling about our future.
Yeah, thank you so much. And it's really my honor that you people agree to shoot this particular documentary or my interview, because I like to remember one of my previous vice chancellor of Indian University, where I did my masters. His name is Professor Y.P. Costa, Yogesh Costa. He used to say one thing, that awareness is better than knowledge. We people are more focused right now, discuss about the knowledge, but awareness, that what you people are trying by this media, that to make people aware about the microplastic and nanoplastic problems and their effects. So it is very important. And our professor used to give this example that if you know that during a fire situation you need to use a fire exit door, it is a knowledge, but you don't know where is a fire exit door. So if you are aware that where is fire exit door, then it is very important.
Yeah.
So the awareness that what we are trying uh, with this platform to aware our society, and it's my fortune that I can be a part of this movement uh, for betterment of society and make people aware about the things. Because sometimes people are not aware of many things, and if they get awareness of this, they can also change their life accordingly, and we can minimize the use of plastic as well. Because the my result says that if the main source of microplastic is human activity. So if we limiting our plastic activities in our daily life, then automatically the concentration of microplastics is reduced in our daily life, especially in our indoor environment. So I think that this kind of documentaries and this kind of reports, this kind of efforts from all of you people and like scientific community can make this society more aware about the microplastic problems.
Yeah, that's really important. And also, this documentary also invites various specialization scientists to join this initiative, because we also need physicists, biology specialists, to figure out how to switch off this electret, like a property of the nanoplastic itself, because as you mentioned, that it's the nanoplastic is already there. The ocean is like a fabric of it, so we are already exposed to it, and concentration of it will be increasing anyway. So we need to find out what to do, and also measures to somehow limit the impact of it on human body and so on, even if it is somehow maybe a limitation of I don't know, just suggest, right, of as you suggested, to limit the plastic activities, right, indoor, right, that might already lead to lower exposure, right, to nanoplastic. I mean, decrease its concentration, right? So maybe some simple rules can help here, right, as well, which already might have some impact on health and so on, like lower health risks at least. And yeah, this is like every part of it is crucial to win this situation together, whole humanity, we're all in this, right? And yeah, I also believe this is a ticket to a brighter future, because it is like a common issue that we need to cope with together.
Yeah, exactly.
And we cannot do this separate, but
it's not
together.
a work of individual.
Yeah,
it is a collective work, collective effort from entire world.
Yeah. So this is really a good, nice part of it, and a good chance to see how it is to work together, right? And it's also really nice. How well do such documentaries reflect current scientific understanding of micro and nanoplastic?
So I really appreciate that efforts to make such kind of a documentary, because the layman people or common people are not have this habit to read the scientific articles. So this kind of documentary will help the population. As I mentioned, the awareness is very important. For the awareness to the common people, those who are not directly related to science, they can watch this kind of documentary. This kind of documentary which extracted the information from the core scientific articles and present in a simple way or in a layman's language for the other populations, So I think I really promoting this kind of work to convert the core scientific knowledge, which is not useful for the common people, that help us to that help other people to aware of the scientific study. In particularly in this documentary, the way explain about how the static charge to the attached to the particles surface area, some kind of a scientific terminology are not easy to understand for all the people. By watching some kind of animation and giving some example photographs and things, and such documentary help the society to take interest, even take interest in science as well. It is also very important to have a scientific society with scientific temperament. So, and awareness for sure, it is very important. So I really appreciate these efforts, and I also wish that people are more film, or they more produce such kind of documentary for the other people as well. Especially targeted to the children as well. Even if we can make it more even simple and more generic and generalized, so people, the small kids can understand. Because at I personally believe that if in initial stage or in younger age, if child have this thinking and they are aware about the any kind of environmental issues, when it's become a responsible citizen, it can be more act as proactively for the environment and this sustainable development as well. So this is what my point of view. Yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing it, and thank you very much also for having this interview with us, being here. And yeah, it's also our pleasure to talk on such important topics with people from science, research scholar, and also I think that not only university but also India can be proud of such person as you are. And thank you very much for pointing out importance of documentary itself and the work we do. Indeed, we believe that this topic is undervalued hugely in our today's information pole and field, and yeah, so this is a really really good thing. Thank you very much for
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time, and also thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And I wish that in future, if I can contribute more towards the society, towards the ALLATRA global research, then it is really good for me, and I am always open. And
appreciate that.
Yes, I am looking for more opportunity for contributing for the science and society as well.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Nisarg. Thank you.